sir.
ये क्या है?
वो वाला कहाँ है अपने पास?
हाँ?
वो वाला कहाँ है?
मेरा पास है ना। मैं
तुम्हारा
साउंड नहीं दे रहा तो मेरा पास
आज
है ना।
तुम्हारा पास है। दूसरा दिन क्या करेगा फिर? आज तुम आया बोल के है।
नहीं, ऑडियो केबल लगा सकते हैं बस।
ऑडियो केबल का दो यूज करना
चार्ज
होगा।
में आँख छोड़ दे देना। वो हेडफोन वाला इसमें घुसा देना।
मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ,
हाँ।
अभी दो ऑडियो केबल है,
हाँ।
तुम उधर यूज करे, इसको क्या देंगे?
is one by one. For the same in coming years.
Good evening to all of you present in this hall. Mention there. There will be a beautiful list where you get. Anyway, so this is about the IIID HRC Design Excellence Awards. So this is an awards like it's really on time. So we are really close.
I think it's 25 years. What better way to launch?
It's you guys that make things happen for the whole fraternity.
Good evening, everyone. We will be starting in another 5 minutes. Request everyone to please settle down. Thank you.
Guest speaker, architect Sunil Patil. Read out. I'd like the authors to come on stage one by one.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can we settle down? Ladies and gentlemen, can I request everyone to settle down? We'd like to begin the evening, please. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us here today evening for the 20th edition of the IIID series. It's a very special day and a very special event as well for us because we are celebrating women, and we are also calling this edition as a special Women's Day edition. As you would have seen the branding, we've got a mix of stalwarts and upcoming women designers and architects with us here today. And we will be celebrating their practice as well. So 8th of March, we celebrated the International Women's Day to celebrate the social, economical, cultural, and political achievements of women. IIID would like to use this day to honor the designers of our lives. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to first begin this evening by requesting you all to stand up for the national anthem. Can we have the national anthem, please? Punjab, Sindh, Gujarat, Maratha, Dravida, Utkal, Banga, India, Himachal, Yamuna, Ganga, Uchala, Jaladhitaranga. Tava Shubha Name Jage, Tava Shubha Ashish Mage, Gaye Tava Jaya Gata. जनगण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय. Thank you very much, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, a woman is a full circle. Within her is the power to create, nurture, and transform. If I can be a little preachy as I talk for my dear fellow men, feminism isn't about making women stronger. Women are already very strong. It's about changing the way we and the world perceives the strength and honor them. As we begin now, ladies and gentlemen, first I'd like to call on stage Mr. Sandeep Jain. Oh, I'm sorry. Our chairperson, I'm very sorry. I'd first like to call on stage a very dynamic and strong chairperson, architect Pallavi Anchuri, to first give her welcome address. Pallavi ma'am, please, the stage is yours.
सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते. As we all know, 8th March is the Women's Day, and we celebrating this as a Women's Day special I5 20th edition. Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to you all. I extend my heartfelt welcome to our esteemed speakers, past chairs, our honored guests, and it's my pleasure to have you all today with us. Today we come together to recognize and honor the achievements, contribution, and resilience of women around us. I would like to thank our special invitee today from the other organizations, Ms. Anuradha Reddy from Intact, Ms. Ritu Shah from FICCI, Ms. Aati Shah from Flow, Ms. Mansi Shah from Sanskruti. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us today. Today we have a wonderful speaker, 5 dynamic speakers today. Architect Renu ma'am. Renu ma'am's practice spans decades and her experience is equal to our age. She is renowned as one of the dynamic lady designers from era when architecture and interior design was not as widely recognized as they are today. And beyond her professional accomplishment, architect Renu ma'am has always been a pillar of support and always just phone call away for us. Thank you so much, ma'am. Then we have our another speaker, Vandana, my dear friend and a talented classical singer. Next, I would like to acknowledge Ajita and her institute, whose active participation in our events has been commendable. Thank you, Ajita. And lastly, I extend warm welcome to architect Anuja and Meghna. So looking forward for your presentations. Dear team members, as we move forward into the next 3 months, I want to take a moment to acknowledge that it's going to be a busy and exciting time for all of us. Our signature event, Jalsa, is around the corner. I would like to share you some unique and interesting plans we have in store for you and your families. For Jalsa, our convener is architect Amita Raj and co-convener is Zinat Iran. We recently had our first orientation session 2 days ago, but if anyone missed it, and they are still interested, can join the show. We have second round on 23rd. One of the highlight of Jalsa will be the ramp walk on the theme Weaves of Telangana, curated by Meher. This promises to be a visually stunning showcase the rich cultural heritage of Telangana through its weaves. For our kids, 10 to 16 years, we have planned an exciting dance performance that is also choreographed by a professional choreographer. Get ready to showcase your talent and energy on the stage. Additionally, we have songs and medley performed by our talented members, adding to the vibrant atmosphere of the event. We have decided to postpone the skate and we are going to organize it in a separate workshop event, and this is being curated by our past year architect Guru Raj Manepalli. And this workshop will span 2 days and promises to be a valuable learning experience for all the participants. I encourage all of you to mark your calendars. Jalsa is on 13th April. Please join Jalsa, where we celebrate creativity, talent, and togetherness. Then we have recently launched IID HRC Design Excellence Awards. These awards aimed at recognizing the utmost level of creativity, innovation, originality, and inspiring practices in the field of design across Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. I urge all the designers to register for the awards and submit their entries before the deadline of 30th March. There are the different categories, and you are welcome to participate in each category that aligns with your expertise and interest. The selection process will consist of 2 steps. First round will involve shortlisting the entries, and second will be a short interaction and presentation on the selected entries, live jury. We have award convener Ravi Anchuri and co-convener Praveen. Lastly, Showcase Insider X. We have our showcase on 28th, 29th, and 30th of June at Hightex. I am thrilled to share you that our showcase Insider X launched on December 18th and has been met with tremendous success. Within just 2 months, the 2 halls have been successfully booked, and due to high demand I'm happy to announce that we are going to launch the third hall on March 18th. However, this will be a unique twist. It will be specially curated to focus on arts. We have ambitious plans for this hall, including organizing a series of captivating display featuring creative installations, designer works, arts and craft exhibits, and more from across Pan-India. I kindly request each and every one of you to help to get involved the showcase by nominating couple of designers from your respective contacts. These designers will have the opportunity to showcase their exhibit, craft, product designs, weaves, and more in a dedicated space called as a design street within the showcase. Our goal with this initiative is to increase the interaction among the IID designers fraternity and provide them a platform for designers across the country to showcase their creative works. I will request you to join for curating showcase, be a part of subcommittees. Subcommittee meeting will be starting, I think, in the month of April. So our convener, architect Rakesh Vasu, and co-convener Naveen will be in touch with you. And this all hectic schedule is not possible without my active and dynamic team support. Finally, I invite all my managing team to join me on stage. And I welcome newly co-opt member, our active, enthusiastic Ramesh Patel. So please join me on stage. Thank you very much. Yeah, everyone, please. Team. Manoj ji, आप भी आना.
Thank you, Pallavi ma'am, for sharing the updates and also the upcoming events. I'm very sure all our IIID members will participate in good numbers and ensure that all these events are successful. A brief note to all our participants as we move ahead. IIID would want to make sure that all of you all have your memberships arrears cleared, because many events are now going to be members only events. So please make sure that you have your membership numbers looked into and all the arrears cleared. Thank you for that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move ahead with the evening and actually get on to the show. For this, first I'd like to call on stage Mr. Sandeep Jain, Vice Chairman Trade IIID Hyderabad Regional Chapter, to introduce our very first guest, Ms. Ajita Reddy Yogesh. Sandeep ji, over to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to all of you on this special evening where we are honoring all the women in our lives, but due to the paucity of time, we'll be, having 5 of these ladies talking to us today. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Ajita Reddy, who's the Managing Director of Hamstech Group, and she's also been the chairperson for FICCI Flow for the Hyderabad chapter. She's been the team member for the Flow Industrial Park, the National Joint Treasurer. Ajita, being a qualified engineer in electronics and telecommunications with a degree in business management, realized very early while pursuing her education that she has both the avidness and skill set in creating awareness amongst people through education. She founded Hamstech in 1992 with the sole aim of tapping into the growing potential of fashion and interior design as an upcoming and creative industry. Hamstech has focused on providing industry-level training to individuals who wish to establish a career in these domains. Over the years, she has developed it into one of the leading creative education providers in India. Her journey included a multitude of milestones like adding photography, graphic design, jewelry design, and so on, onboarding celebrity mentors like Neeta Lulla, Avinash Govirkar, Shabnam Gupta, and Kailash Nayak, being the first institute to be affiliated to the renowned national and international universities across the globe, inception of seven more institute branches in Hyderabad, making Hamstech one of the most prolific institutes of the country. Today, the Hamstech group of companies holds an array of organizations apart from Hamstech College of Creative Education, some of which are the hlabel.com. This is a unique e-commerce platform, was established to showcase designer collections created by Hamstech fashion student designers with national and international retail website, as well as regular featured presence at some of the most revered exhibitions. The H Label is a brand that truly showcases Hamstech's talent while making its own style statement within the fashion world. Hamstech Films, under its banner, Hamstech also has a production company that produces and distributes films. Its distribution project was the Telugu film Cheppalandi Undi. Sorry. Hamstech Films has distributed big banners like Godfather, starring Chiranjeevi and Salman Khan. Hamstech Interiors. Hamstech has now ventured into providing end-to-end interior design with Kosha Interior Services under the wing of its collaboration with one of the India's top celebrity interior designers, Shabnam Gupta, who already owns successful interior brands like Peacock Life and Orange Lane. Through this collaborative venture, Hamstech Interior intends to provide bespoke experience to residential and commercial properties. Since her association with Flow commenced in 2005, Ajita has played multifarious roles and contributed to Flow in the capacities of chairperson and, Flow Hyderabad chapter with a group of over 1,000 members consisting of entrepreneurs, professionals from all walks of life. Through her association with Flow, she has stated unequivocally that her primary goal is to empower Indian women with knowledge, skill, and ability to build something of their own as an entrepreneur. That's why she presently the director at the Flow Industrial Park, which is one of its kind and is closely working on allocation of land, Government of Telangana. With unwavering commitment towards women empowerment and skill building, Ajita Reddy holds true conviction in the tagline of Flow, empowering a woman is empowering a nation. I present to you Ajita Reddy.
A very good evening to you all. Normally when I send this, a lot of people do a pressy writing on it and make it really short. And that's actually nice. Today, when I heard this all, and I realized to myself, oh, I really did a lot of things in life, And I'm so grateful to be here. Thanks, Pallavi, for, taking the, time to call me and also pushing me a little bit. I truly, feel grateful for that. Yeah, so before I go on to a little bit of my journey, and I know I have come into a couple of IIID events and I've actually seen great works that all you designers have done. But I'm not a designer. So I'm not going to be showing you any of my works here today, guys. Y'all are the leaders there. And we have a team now which is going to be working on designs. So I'm going to run my own journey here and how we built a design school, So that's what I'm at. But before I get on to my story, I must say that I've had a great association with IIID. Starting from the time that, Qasim Saab was at the helm of activities, I was, just introduced to IIID at that point of time. And he very sweetly came, as a faculty member for us and, took many sessions for us. Subsequent to that, then Guru Raj Manipali sir, then Shantanu sir, and then after that we had Ravi, we had Sona, we had Aparna, we have had so many people, all of them, and Mr. Manoj Wahi lately, who all been supporting all these students who are passing out as designers. So a big thank you, and also thank you for vetting this curriculum to be able to ensure that the students who pass out are absolutely have all the skill sets that they require. Right, so now moving on to, of course, my story. My journey as a woman entrepreneur. What have I done? So started Hamstech way back in 1992 as, it was actually an alternative, I was an engineer by profession and then went on to do my business management course, passed out in 1992 and realized that, I never really enjoyed being either an engineer or I always wanted to do something different. And that's when I realized that there are a lot of skill courses where you learn a craft and then you actually continue to ensure that you have a great career. Now, that was not offered to many of us. I remember that I had written, arts as my subject, and my dad said, no, you're a smart girl, you're 95 percentile plus, so you have no business getting into arts. So he just cut my application out and said, no, you have to go to engineering because you're a smart girl. So this is what happened in every family, The STEM courses took so much precedence over any other course that not very smart people were actually allowed to go into these courses. So if any of y'all are here, I think it's great that your parents have actually said yes, because, a lot of people like us. I remember many stories, I had a student of mine who was very bright, very, very good, but then wanted to do interior design. And the mother said, no, ये सब ठीक है करने के लिए, but एक basic education तो हो, एक basic degree तो हो. And I'm like, what? I mean, which world are you all in? That she can get a degree from here, but not many are aware of it. So I think we took it upon ourselves to, create that awareness. So spreading awareness that only STEM is not the field for people to be successful in life was the first challenge that we had. Educating people was not an easy task, mind you. And then I was all of literally 21 years in 1992, and then at 21, nobody was willing to give me a loan. Everybody wanted a collateral, and which 21-year-old has land or property in their name, at least not in our generation. Our kids are probably more lucky now that they have parents who put property in their name, but honestly, I had nothing. I had nothing to my name. But what I did have is the enthusiasm and the zeal to say that I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to work for anybody because I considered myself supremely smart. And I said, a smart girl like me shouldn't go and work for somebody and build their wealth. I'd rather build wealth for myself. So that was the notion that I came from, and I said, no, I'm going to do something by myself. So I think the firm grit and enthusiasm that probably somebody from one of the banks saw and said, okay, we'll give you a paltry amount of loan, which I was supremely happy. That's how we started the first center of Hamstech. So now, a lot of people, initially when we started Hamstech, we only focused on two courses, which was fashion design and interior design. Also because at that point of time, at least there were universities which were offering these courses. And I always wanted to ensure that, whatever course we do, there is a final outcome and there's a final recognition for that course. So we started with those courses, but subsequently went on to add a lot more courses. Many of them are, yes, photography, graphic design. We also have, jewelry design, fashion styling, and lately we've added 2 new courses, which is baking and culinary courses, apart from all the other courses that we have, and makeup artistry, of course. Now, in the last 3 decades, we have actually trained 36,000 students in these fields of design. And, and that's how we built this, this organization and institution. And out of these 36,000 students, we have 8,000 students who are now entrepreneurs, who all started a business of their own. So the next challenge was to find, these subjects were so nascent that to find somebody who had the prerequisites of, being able to teach was very less. So to find people was another challenge. And then even if we found people, they came at such a heavy, expensive price. Now, again, a 21, 22-year-old, where do you get that money from? So we had to, again, come with some jugaad. We Indians are great at jugaad. So I had to go and find people who had taken like a maternity leave. and then see how we could bring them on, because they were willing to spend a few hours, not the whole day because they didn't want to take. So these jugards helped us, ensure that we found the people with the required skill set to be able to teach what we really wanted the students to learn. And we have even subsequent to that, we always ensured that we treated people like family. And trust me, women are suckers for love. So wherever we gave love to people, they've all actually stayed back with us. And we gave it with a genuine heart, of course. So I have people who've started with me in 1992 and are still with me. All my heads, all my leaders are still with me, and we are more like a family today. So that also has helped, was the biggest challenge, but we subsequently found some ways around to deal with that challenge. And then we also included flexible hours for them, so, to see how we could ensure that their expertise was there. Another thing that we did was we said, okay, let's try and bring the best of the country. So that's when we collaborated with Neeta Lulla and Shabnam Gupta. Now, we can't afford Neeta Lulla and Shabnam Gupta to take every class. So we hired them to ensure that they train our faculty with all the required skill sets. So they come here once a month, one to take classes for the student, and the next day is always for faculty training. So we ensure that the faculty is well trained, So I cannot claim that I have the best in the industry to come and teach. Because, how many of y'all would come and teach? Maybe one class, maybe two classes, but y'all are the best. Y'all are here, but y'all will not find that time to teach. But I can definitely say that I hire the best of the available lot, right? So that's of course. And in fact, what we have done at Hamstech is now we've moved away from from saying that only the best will teach. We said we have the best systems. So we are system dependent rather than being person dependent. So if a student comes and tells me that today is my history class 5, I will tell you exactly what they will learn, what is their, what kind of a creative, project they have, what kind of a creative submission they have, what is the purpose of that submission and why. And I must thank IIID for vetting this entire curriculum also, and also all the session-wise plans. Aparna, I think, took a lot of time to be able to go through all of it and, do this collaboration for us. Now, to ease this, another challenge that we felt was students were willing to come for, a 1-year course or a 2-year course, but they didn't want to travel all the way to Himayatnagar. And then they would say, "Hum karenge, but itna dur kaun aayega?" So we realized that this is another challenge. People are interested in the course, but they don't want to travel. So we said, okay, so let's take the institution to them. So we found where did we have the students from, and then located, all the locations where we had the maximum number of students. We put our centers there. So we ensured that we took our centers to ensure that students would come to be able to study. So that was another challenge that we had. And of course, today's day and time, if you don't have state-of-art infrastructure, there's nothing which works. So we had to create that. We placed, of course, again, IIID has played a big role. We've got, because of the exposure that we've had from here, a lot of companies do approach us. And today we have almost 400 companies who only, takes Hamstech students. The next challenge that we had was we wanted students to become, not just take up jobs, but also become entrepreneurs. Because I come from an entrepreneurial background, and that to me was very important. So we realized that what was happening is if these students went out in the market, most of them were only limited to a certain area. So either if I take fashion, for example, they were only taught illustration, and they were not exposed to anything else. Now, this was a strategic plan from the designers that they don't want everybody to learn everything, because they know that if you train them too well, they'll leave you, right? So they ensured that they train them well, but then train them well only in one aspect of life. Therefore, you know that they're going to be with you for a long time. Now, that was not suitable for us. So we started hlabel.com, which was a production unit, with a 30-member team where every student comes, does a line collection, and stays through the entire process of the line collection. So that is understanding the drawings, the design, the implementation, the karigari, the pricing and promotion, the branding, the photo shoots, how to do, so that they are exposed to every aspect of what needs, what is needed to make them an entrepreneur. Similar exercise now we've also done with interior design. Yeah, so that was the platform for hlabel.com, and with interior design, now we have Kosha Interiors, where we offer, services, design services. So and these are the many platforms that we always provide to. Now, what is the plan going forward? I've never been the one to say, I've done enough. I want to now relax, sit back, enjoy, and reap the benefits of what we've done. I'm always ready to risk whatever I have, earned or learned to ensure that, we continue the tradition of building an empire, building a large organization. So I've seen the difference that it creates, that when you have a great education, how it empowers women. And I now don't want to be restricted to only Hyderabad, because we only have centers in Hyderabad as of now. So we said, no, we need to expand our, area, our geographic area to across India. And that's how we now come up with a plan of live online learning modules. So now we have a platform, we have a learning platform, we have an app-based platform, which we've built over the last 4 to 5 years. And now we have students across India too. And my next plan, of course, we already have hlabel.com. Now we have, Kosha. Now the next one is a collaboration with Avinash Govarikar to bring in the, the photography studio and, offer services from there. These are the roles which I've done towards more women empowerment. Chaired Hyderabad chapter and all of that. And also, we've launched an industrial park, which is 100% women-owned industrial park. That means there is no man who's a shareholder here, and the entire park is owned by women only. Okay. Now, this is the first in India, and we've had 60 women members of parliament who came to study this park to be able to replicate it in other states. So I'm now the core committee member to be able to replicate such parks across India via FICCI Flow. And I spend at least 10 to 12 hours every week to be able to, follow through the mentor-mentee program to ensure that my students have all the support possible to convert to transform themselves to entrepreneurs. Now, what is the way forward? We all here, each one of us has a role to play to ensure women empowerment. This is not something that a woman can do for a woman. This is something that a society has to do for a woman. So what's the plan forward? And what is in it for each of us to take back, to learn, and to ensure that we implement it in our lives? One, of course, is a social empowerment. We have to be champions of equal rights and opportunities. While it's nice to, to be hearing this, and we all feel empowered in every way, trust me, we are so conditioned in our systems that we do things which we feel that, okay, this is natural. I'll tell you a simple example of mine. I work full-time, my daughter works full-time, my husband works full-time. Sometimes I leave home earlier and come back later. But the moment, or sometimes we all walk in together, but the moment we all step in, everybody looks up to me and says, what's for dinner? And I'm like, why? Why are you asking me? I went along with you. I come back after, along with you. So where did I have the time to look into it? So, it's just that, and they're empowered people, okay? It's not that they are not. But it is deeply conditioned into our system that we expect a woman to do the roles of taking care of a child, taking care of the home, taking care of the in-laws. We give this woman this, the Mata Durga roop, which has got multiple hands. Yes, Mata Durga has multiple hands, but we women have only 2. So how are we expected to play so many roles and yet be 100% successful at every role? I often say this to everywhere that I go, that we do try to multitask, but I feel multitasking is a myth. We do it. I'm not saying we don't do it. But whenever we multitask, we always take it away from something else. I remember that, simple examples that my daughter would have a parent-teacher meeting, and schools, they just give 1-day notice, 2-day notice, and sometimes my calendar is booked like a week in advance. So I would tell my daughter, sorry, beta, I can't come. and I would say, okay, you know what, doesn't matter, Mother's Day, Parents Teachers Day, Nani can go. And she would say, Nani can come, but, Nani talks to even a parent, PTA, even my PT teacher, who goes and talks to a PT teacher. So it never bothered her that I wasn't there, but it did bother her that there was somebody who was taking too much more interest. But if I had gone, I would have had such short time, I would have met her class teacher and got out, which would have been perfect for the child. But today, she doesn't remember all of that. What she remembers is the mother has created an organization today, which is standing there for 30 years and has built a great legacy. So even if you are, at some points of time, taking precedence, your home takes precedence over work, it's okay. Learn to be guilt-free. If sometimes you feel that, your work needs more time, it's okay to let go of the child. Even the dad has the responsibility, even the family has a responsibility. So women need this kind of support, this kind of equal opportunities at all points of time. Educational empowerment, I feel that if there's no education, it turns to poverty for sure. So education is a must. And education at all levels. Grassroots is schools that we're talking about. Mid-level is, business schools that we're talking about. And for all of us empowered, emancipated women, we also need to know that we have to be empowered and learn to be on the board. Do not be happy with anything less than achieving the top position of your organization. And of course, economic empowerment. And, of course, change starts at home. So all of you, I hope everybody, takes a little bit of this and starts implementing it in a small way in their own homes. And that, for me, would be true empowerment for women. Thank you so much. And thanks, Pallavi, again, for an amazing, Yes, as always, I've had a great time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ajita, for that very inspiring and extremely passionate talk. It was lovely to see how you've moved around your journey, and we are very happy to note all the important points that you mentioned to us. So we have also taken notes from that. Yes. So can I kindly request our chairperson, Pallavi Anchuri ma'am, to join us on stage to felicitate Ms. Ajita. Can I also take the opportunity to kindly request Qasim Ali sir, if he would be kind enough to join us on stage. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, request you all to please give a big round of applause. Thank you very much. As we move ahead, I would like to call on stage architect Rakesh Vasu, our honorary treasurer, to introduce our next speaker. Rakesh ji, the stage is yours.
Good evening, everyone. Actually, I think there's no formal introduction required for the next speaker, advisor, mentor, guide, and the list goes on and on. And it's an honor and privilege for me to actually formally introduce our next speaker, who is also an iconic architect, is an interior designer, architect Renu Hassan. Is an architect and interior designer and runs a firm by name Siraj and Renu, and who's a husband with a wife team of architects and interior designers, and has offices in Bangalore, Chennai, and Hyderabad. The company has created projects which have been acclaimed as landmark projects, have won her many accolades in terms of client satisfaction, as also various awards and recognition that she won in the past 2 decades. In her opinion, the greatest award is that of enduring relationships with her clients during the years and the repeat projects that she has been consistently getting from them, such as 10 Downing pub all over India. I think that was the first pub where, that was, ma'am, thank you very much. That was the first pub where I had my drink, first beer, which is evident of the great trust that was reported in her firm and Sitara Ramoji Film City. She has been with IIID since its inception and was the first secretary of Hyderabad chapter, then chairperson, During her tenure as secretary and chairperson in the first 4 years of the chapter's inception, she had organized several exhibitions and conferences, including national conventions, showcasing the development products and update the members, which was a great success. And that is continuing even till today, which we have seen the success over a period of years. Her education qualifications, she has a graduate diploma in architecture. She's a fellow Indian Institute from Architects, Council of Architects. She's a member, associate of Indian Institute of Designers, Interior Designers. She's a member of International Federation of Interior Designers, Asia Pacific Space Designers Association, member of Andhra Chamber of Commerce. Her awards is a very, very big list. I'll not go into the details, but let me tell you some of the recent ones. Appreciation Award by Crompton Kitchens Unplugged 20th January 2023, which she has received. Appreciation Award by ASADI, Vastukala Mahati 2020-21 for her exemplary and long service renders as architect, presented on 8 March 21 on the International Women's Day. And Appreciation Award by Sarah, Washroom Design Challenge 2018. Appreciation Award by the 12th Realty Excellence Award 2020 South, a virtual series, which was under the category Sustainable Design, Architect of the Year and Hospitality Project of the Year 2020. The list is just going on and on. She has won many awards from IIID, and she's been given an award as an appreciation award by JNTU Architecture and Finance University in 2011, and the Best Interior Designer for 10 launch in Secunderabad by IIID Hyderabad MYK Laticrate. Then she's into a lot of a lot of hospitality interiors. So hospitality interiors category for the following projects: Residency Hotel at Coimbatore, Kingfisher Cyber Pub at Bangalore, Best Designer Award for from IIID for Black Cadillac, and she's also won the prestigious award from the World Bank aided project in an architectural design competition for a training center for the APCOB Bank Hyderabad, and the list goes on and on. And her clientele includes Dolphin Group of Hotels, Ramoji Film City, Tata Boeing Aerospace, Fortune Group of Hotels, Residency Group of Hotels, then Goodminton Hospitality LLP, Irish Pub and Cog and Bull, not stories, Mercure Hotels, Atlantic Hotels Private Limited, Novotel Hotel Mercure, Starwood Aloft Hotels, Radisson, goes on and on, Taj, Welcome Group, JP Hotels, then Movenpick Hotels, Lemon Tree, JMJ, Casa Grande, and many, many more. So I can't keep going on. And her famous quote, I think it is a part and parcel of architecture to have green spaces. And her advice to the women is to be confident and dedicated. Please advise something to men also, ma'am. Thank you very much. And please welcome, ma'am, Architect Renu Hassan.
Okay, you had too much to say about me because I've been actually, done that number of years. So you guys are still very young. You have to go through it. So, I mean, to be honest, Pallavi actually forced me. I'm not the kind of person who can talk. Okay? So मैं आधा हिंदी में बोलूँगी, आधा अंग्रेजी में बोलूँगी. So that's okay. That's me. Okay? That's what she was saying, no? Women's. So ठीक है ना? Okay. No, so you wanted me to say कि once we finished college, how did I come to this number of years? Once when we finished college, there was nobody, there were hardly any architects. Qasim Ali is sitting with me. So he would, no, I think we had Hashmat, I've written the names and brought it, Takhi, because I said I'll forget the names. Hashmat Raza, Salamat Ali Khan, Fayazuddin, and Hamida Manzoor was the only lady architect. Am I right? Okay. No, I'm correcting because he was with me. So, Hamida Manzoor, that was the only lady. And obviously, there were very few ladies, even in our college. When I joined, I think I was the only one, or there was another girl with me. Just the two of us. And when our college was in, where was it? King Koti ke paas. But that building was like, I would still say, as an architect and for people to study in an architecture college, you have to have a building, something on those lines. Because to be honest, I always criticize, but we did study in this college in JNTU in Masab for 4 years, because after that we were asked to leave from that college and the college had to move because it became larger and stuff like that. So after we finished the college, I mean, I went to Bombay. We were 3-4 friends who were also in Bombay with me. Then came back. I had nowhere to work in Hyderabad because there were no architects where you could go and work or somebody will train you up and stuff like that. So got into designing clothes. I had Exotica, where we used to design clothes with a friend of mine. After that, I joined Siraj because he had a furniture unit, and then when they were in Raniganj, I even ran a bookshop. So it's not one, you know, like from here, say, Ekdam Udar. It's been ups and downs for us, but whatever the downs were also were happy downs. So, you know, I have no regrets on that. But it's a good experience because, you know, you learn a lot because now, you know, I mean, all these kids have got more facilities to go and work somewhere. And I think, and now I'm only worried about the AI stuff because every time I look at the Instagram and the kind of softwares that have come, I really don't know. Aparna, I thought you were not here. Hi. In a sense, I really don't know what's going to happen or how will the generation, younger generation, actually would work on those, or will they have colleges? Or, I mean, even sometimes when I want to try out the softwares, they are amazing. I mean, I take a picture of my kitchen or my bedroom and I ask them, okay, this is the design I want, and he does it in like jiffy. So do we need colleges for people to study, or is it that you study everything online? You know, most of the time today everybody thinks they are designers. So I had a lot of issues, and that one of the reasons that I very rarely do homes. Whatever he read about me is, yeah, because like everyone gets onto the net, they know what design they want, what home they want, and then we have Vastu to practice with, even for interior designers. So either the Vastu guys and the housewives become designers. And when we started IIID, IIID with Qasim and Mr. Chawla, our aim and intention was that we will not have anybody as the IIID member who is not from a professional college. Okay, we didn't want to collect. We wanted to have some kind of a standard to the IIID members, and not, the numbers were not important. It was the quality. Quantity to har jagah mil jati, quality nahi milta. So that was one of things with Mr. Chawla. Anyway, with that intention, we all started. But I'm happy. In any case, the trade members had to be there because without them, we just can't do anything. Let's be honest. And we really did a lot in IIID, and I think I had a very good journey with IIID. You know, with the zonal office, with the Bombay guys, and I think that's how IIID today has Hyderabad chapter with my, you know, with the other members. Qasim was there, Subhash was there, and Mr. Chawla was the main person for us. So, I mean, and after that, I'm happy that you girls have followed that. Thanks. Oh, shut up. Today is not your day. Today is only Women's Day. So you're not supposed to talk. Okay? Yeah, obviously the guys are there. But, I mean, you also need help from the ladies. Hello, you know, I mean, it's not just you. I mean, you all had to have, the backup of women. Without them, you can't do a thing, okay? The women can do, not the men. They definitely need the support of women, and if you don't have the support of women, then you can't do anything. I was talking about trade members, not you. So that's how then we started our furniture unit, and that's how I learned what furniture is all about, because Siraj had the unit, and which is very, very important. Most of the architects and designers are not very clear about the designing of the furniture. What size chair you should have. I mean, you know, basic angles of the chairs. It's always a mess. And I mean, it'll look nice, but when you're sitting there for long, then it doesn't. So anyway, I think if I can just show some few pictures. क्या प्रेस करूं? ये आगे जाना खुला ही नहीं है ना? है? अच्छा. Yeah, so success is a journey and it's not the destination. It's until you are alive, you are studying, you are learning, and you do learn from a lot of the younger generation, or, you know, I mean, like what I listened to Ajita, I mean, it's amazing whatever she has done. It's really creditable. And as a woman to, you know, as an entrepreneur. Oh, you're here. Okay, I thought you've gone to become a grandmother. So I really admire Ajita. It was really interesting to hear you. And to be honest, I knew about it, but not in so much detail. So good, all the best. Okay, this is the 10 Downing, what he was talking about. That was our first pub. Actually, the pub thing started with the 10 Downing in Hyderabad. Sorry, yeah, and we did most of the 10 Downings all over India, wherever. And I think because of them, I traveled and saw a lot of India, which I don't think I would have ever traveled. Like, you know, we went to Chandigarh and Raipur, Bilaspur, and, you know, all kinds of places, which I don't think one would have ever thought of traveling. And that's one of our very dear projects. And Gufa, it's an Ori's, which had those four restaurants, have more Chinese and metro also. The metro I didn't have anything. See, in those days actually, we never had phone cameras where you could just keep clicking, and was not in a habit of calling a photographer to take photographs. It was only when IIID started asking, and, you know, that they needed some pictures, or you want to get into some competition, and So that's when you would call the photographer and ask them to take them. So this is one of them, which was very, very interesting to do. This is the latest one. I'm just showing you because I had one video with this. Cock and Bull. This is the Irish pub, which is, yeah, basically this is the entry, and that was just a small little video which I had, and I said, let me put that up. Yeah, not, to be honest, I really don't, and this is Kasbah, which is one of my favorite places. Now we are renovating it. We have renovated it, but not as. This is all in Coimbatore. This is the pub in one of the hotels in CAG in Coimbatore. And this is an urban dhaba which we did in Salem. Mostly Siraj has handled that, so I won't take the credit fully. For the others I can. And this is residency. The only thing is, between husband and wife, at times it becomes very difficult. So we really don't work together because we are either criticizing, or at the end is the fight, and so we just get out. Yeah, so I mean, there are bound to be different opinions. I mean, you know, it's not that you have to say yes, sir, no. I'm not the kind of person. Like Ajita says, you have to stand on your feet and do it, and she's right. So it's never. I don't think you also did manners. So that's the thing. So I wish everyone would really, Women's Day is not what I'm going to say, because for me every day is a Women's Day. Nobody can do without them. Let's be honest. For every little thing you need, chahe kaam banao, khana banao, what she was saying was right. So Women's Day is for me every day. So I don't like to say that it's a Women's Day or you want to celebrate a Women's Day. This is all Angrez, Women's Day, Mother's Day, Dog's Day, Cat's Day, and stuff like that. So I really don't, I don't know, maybe I'm from the old school or whatever. I really don't believe in it. For me, every day is every day. How you take it, and so I wish everyone all the best, and thank you all very much. I don't think you'll have to stand up and clap. Because whatever I could, I did. Because I have never done this, okay?
So if we have any courage to have taken as a leadership role, it was after watching her. We have seen growing up, and you have never aged.
Thank you very
So,
much.
whether it is a factory visit, whether it is going to find, she's as curious as a kid. Like, if we go to factories, I had a chance to travel with her. There is no element of fun that is left. We got down on the roads because we had to go to factory. Itna boring kyun hai? Chalo utro. We got into the khet and we took pictures. So there is no say dying, and that's something we really, really admire. And just continue to be like this. It's so lovely.
I will, as long as I have your love.
I couldn't stop myself.
Convention.
The best.
That was the best. Yes, but let me tell you one thing. It's not only me, it was the family of IIID. For us, IIID is the family. So we really did a lot, and till today, everybody remembers that.
Thank you for doing this today.
Thank you very much. It's thanks to Pallavi. I kept telling her, Pallavi, I have never done it and I will not do it. She said, no. I said, okay,
Ma'am, actually, HRC owes you a lot. Hyderabad Regional Chapter, IID owes you a lot. We all ठीक नहीं होता, and actually from the day one till today, whatever you're supporting for the good, and you're always.
Guys, when they came, they were just younger. You had the little one.
Yeah, baby.
You joined when I was the chapter. Yeah, these guys joined. Yeah. 20 years back.
And in IID, there's only one person who can scold me, and she scolds me, and I always like it. So,
okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, can I request you to stay back? Aparna, ma'am, please. Yeah. Thank you very much, Renu ma'am. I can safely and confidently say that every generation would have experienced the magic of your design, as all of us have spent good amount of time in your creations. Ladies and gentlemen, let us move ahead with the evening. I would like to call on stage Mr. Ramesh Patel, our co-opted member, IIID Hyderabad Regional Chapter, to introduce to you our next speaker. Ramesh ji.
Good evening, all. Vandana Shetty. She was born and brought up in Maharashtrian family from Mumbai. She has done her BA in Psychology and Economic and post-graduation Management Studies from Mumbai University. Worked as a project manager in Maxwell Industries from 1992 to 1994. Presently, she is a director of sales for furniture brand from Mumbai, Colonial Collections, a handcrafted furniture since 25 years. HR manager in hardcore engineering works, feed manufacturing unit, poultry and cattle industry since 2018. She is a trained Hindustani semi-classical vocalist and now pursuing ghazals also. She loves traveling, music, cooking, socializing, gardening, listening to spiritual talks. She believes in discipline, honesty, time management, dedication, and hard work. Let's all welcome Vandana Shetty, ma'am.
Namaste and good evening to all of you. When Pallavi had approached me for this, I was actually wondering, क्या बोलना है? You know, I mean, इतना है क्या बोलने के लिए? She said, no, you have to say just about your journey. So I thought, okay, let me give a try. And so today we are in an architect forum, and एक एप्ट सॉन्ग जो आ रहा है अभी एक दो लाइन आपको सुनवा देती हूँ. ये तेरा घर ये मेरा घर, ये तेरा घर ये मेरा घर, तो जरा आके आ मिले मेरी नजर तेरी नजर, ये तेरा घर ये मेरा घर. I think for all the designers who are present here, who build big buildings, farmhouses, hospitality projects, clap for all of them. It's great to be here among fellow design lovers and aspiring creators. I'm Vandana Shetty, and creativity is something that's always been a part of my family story. A small tree of life. I'm just going to refer it and explain to you. Music has been my passion since I was little, and I have been singing classical tunes since then. Now I'm delving in the world of ghazals. In my family, innovation runs deep. But like in any family, there are traditions that can be tough. Waking up at 5 a.m. as kids, pushed by my dad to start early and tackle our goals, sometimes felt it was a bit too much. But now, looking back, I see the value in those early lessons. My music is also a part of a push from my dad. I must also mention my husband Ashish, who is in the machinery manufacturing for livestock industry. But sometimes I feel he would have been a great art collector if he would have got some time from his busy schedule. I have two sons, Karan and Mayank, and my third son is my Milo, Labrador, who is full of energy and keeps me fit. And you know, I wanted to tell you something about him. So whenever I start my music session practices, wherever he is in the house, he quietly comes and sits beside me, and I think he understands music. Yes. My journey into the world of design began at Maxwell Industries, my dad's company in Andheri, now known as VIP Clothing Limited. Here, I learned the true meaning of business companionship from two remarkable men. My father, Jaikumar Pathare, a man of principles and discipline, and Mr. Jaipal Reddy, a visionary who always aimed big. My introduction to architecture came from a powerful woman, my mother, in 1990s, when she passionately, along with an architect, designed our family home, overseeing every detail from civil work to furniture selection. Her leadership taught me valuable lessons in multitasking and management. For me, creativity is like air we breathe. It's everywhere, whether it's in the people I meet, the places I visit, or the music session I attend, there's always something inspiring to discover. Just like in ragas, where each musician brings their own unique touch by introducing different swars, creativity shines brightly in each one of us. Now, here's one fun fact. I wasn't always a fan of cooking, but as my interest in creativity grew, so did my love for cooking. In fact, I enjoyed it so much that I ended opening a restaurant along with my son. It's amazing how creativity flourishes in moments of happiness, isn't it? Ultimately, finding happiness in what you do is key factor. When passion drives your work, there is no limit to what you can achieve. My passion was elevated the day I visited Rust, a store by Colonial Collections for the first time in Goa. Immediately, I contacted Nilufar and Rishad Rustamji and visited their factory in Vadala. Believe me, it gave me a feeling that I was in the right place. Her dedication, style down to earth nature, and the way she spoke made me feel that I was in the perfect environment to collaborate. Now, seeing the handcrafted, custom-made furniture along with arts and craft designs and classics filled me with admiration for her creativity. Her confidence and efficient work on her laptop were truly inspiring. Today, after 22 years of collaboration, we have become we are not more just like colleagues, but we are family. Learning about detailing in furniture and taking part in inside-outside shows, El Decor, the Decode shows imparted me with abundance of knowledge in design field. I would like to present a small AV on Colonial Collections. New Parliament House, it's one of our prestigious project. But my journey doesn't stop there. It's a continuous source of inspiration from the designers I have encountered at IIID. From architect Yashwant Ramamurthy's creative use of handloom fabrics, talks on heritage monuments, to architect Jayakiran's expertise in stonework, each mentor has contributed to my growth as a designer. During Ms. Sona Chitwani's term, I was fortunate to be a treasurer for 3 years, where I learned audit accounts, which was not a cup of my tea. I have also learned valuable lessons from architect Qasim Ali Khan sir about how in olden days waterproofing was done in one of his talks. and architect Shantanu Chaudhary's insight into Insider magazine editing, which was a completely new subject for me. Additionally, organizations like Ikebana International and Sanskriti Ladies organizations have nurtured my passion for floral arrangements and cultural heritage. Sanskriti Shikhar, a part of Sanskriti Ladies organization, a school for special children, gave me an opportunity to work for cause together. My time in Fiki Flow, Hyderabad has provided me with opportunities to interact with influential personalities, enriching my journey even further. Working on Connect magazine and sponsorship deck, I could develop great contacts and networking and social bonding. Now I wanted to give a small tribute to all of them who have inspired me. So this is what I was and now what I am. My dad and his partner, my mom, the house, my IIID family, my besties, my music guru, Srimati Devi Ramana Murthy. So my advice to all women, I don't want to call it as advice, but I think these are my feelings for all women. Enjoy your life to the fullest. Can you just play that? Yeah. Enjoy your life to the fullest. There might be times when we need to prioritize our passion and profession. There will be ups and downs, but never leave your passion and ability to dream in a halfway. Always give your best in whatever you do. Success will flow automatically. Life is very short, so live it in the fullest and enjoy every moment. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing that journey and for showcasing such wonderful work as well. Can I please request you to stay back on stage, and can I request first architect Pallavi Anchori to join us. I would also like to invite on stage architect Manoj Vahiji. Manojji, are you with us? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to call on stage architect N. Praveen Kumar, Chairman-elect IIID Hyderabad Regional Chapter. Please come on stage, and while he walks up on stage, I would like to just make an announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, we have something very exciting. Our sponsor and partner for the evening has arranged for a lucky dip specifically and specially for women. So please drop in your business card or a chit with your name on it in the bowl on the first table. I'm sure all of you all can see the bowl right here. So please make sure you drop in either your business card or a chit with your name, and the winner will be announced at the end. Sure. So please ensure that your chits and business cards are in there. Praveen, please request you to.
Yeah, greetings to all. This evening, I would like to present architect Anuja Ji Dopade, founder of IIID, established in 2019. After earning her BArch from JNFAU in 2011, Anuja spent 6 months working with architect Abhay Namaskar. Before beginning her own practice, she worked with architect Sudhir Reddy, Kritika Associates, for about 8 years. 8 years. Our company Atelier specializes in interior design and architecture for single and family homes, farmhouses, private homes, and villas. Please welcome architect Anuja with a great round of applause. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm honestly very humbled to be part of this with such stalwarts. And I would like to, just give my bit and go ahead, I would say. I'm architect Anuja Dhopade, and I'm the founder of Atelier DA. I'm here to talk about myself as a designer. And before I start, I would like to thank architect Pallavi Anchuri and the team of IIID for reaching out and giving me the opportunity to share my journey. Anuja, as an individual, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, friend, student, and a dreamer. And well, these are my parents, my siblings, my friends from college, and that's another friend I'm working with in collaboration as well. And I think half of them are here and you heard them cheering me. So they have been a constant support system, and without them, I don't think I would have made it till here. So thank you everyone for being here and supporting me. So architecture actually is something that chose me, I guess. I didn't choose it, because when I look back, it feels like I was there at the right place at the right time, and that's how architecture happened to me. That's just to give you a couple of incidents of, this not working? Okay. Just a couple of incidents to just mention about why and how it happened. I was really very little when I was taken to one of my father's friend's house, who's an architect. And looking at that house, it was like very fascinating to see all these levels and everything. And I didn't even know what architecture was back then. So that's one faint memory I have, I guess. And another one was about visiting the Nampalli Numaish, where the builders used to have those little models to display about, their apartments or whatever the projects. And I was very fascinated, and somewhere I came to know about architecture then. And I think I had made up my mind, and right when the time was to select what my career would be, I chose architecture and have been still pursuing that. So moving on to the next. So this is me as a student, and that's another friend with whom I have participated in a lot of trophies and competitions, and have always managed to make one of the places at least. And other pictures are of, again, during architecture, which gave me a lot of exposure in the creativity and the field and subjects and all of that. It was a great learning, I would say. And after graduating, briefly, I worked with architect Abhay Namaskar before joining Kritika Architects in 2011. The plan originally was to just gain some experience and join a international firm, because it's my dream to work on a stadium project. It still is, and I hope I'll build one someday, design one someday. And well, then later I did join Kritika, and I learned a lot of things there from Sudhir sir. I understood the true role of an architect under his guidance, and I think my journey as an architect began from there. So these are pictures of me along with Mr. Sudhir Reddy, accompanying him for various sites, and basically being in the background and learning all of the details and techniques of construction. Well, yeah, this is me at different sites. So this one is a project where we worked with rammed earth walls and thatched roofs. That one is me at a completed site farmhouse, which was with stone masonry and composite construction there. That was where there was a lot of rock cutting and how foundations are done when there is a lot of rock, and yeah, different pictures at different sites where basically I learned a lot. And yeah, it helped me in my career, I would say. I was also inspired a lot by architect I.M. Pei and wanted to do something similar. When I say similar, it's having different typologies of buildings to be built with different forms, shapes, materials, and also believed in, to become art, it must be built on a foundation of necessity. Don't build when it's not necessary. And yeah, he still is an inspiration for me. And of course, Sudhir Reddy, from where I learned a lot in terms of detailing and site management and a lot of things that I cannot really put it across. And finally, yeah, that's again me with him, and it's the picture on the right is the same space once it was finished. And then finally, with all my dreams and passions, I started Atelier DA in 2019. That is my team and the studio. So the philosophies that I believe in, I can say I carry while I design, is experiment with the spaces even when the scope is limited. So when I say that, clients come with certain sometimes requirements where it becomes a little challenging, and it also can be a driving force. Like, they can be peculiar about certain things, like I want this particular material or I want this element and things like that. So I still try to experiment where it's possible. It's the process that matters. So for me, it's the process, because if it's thought process, design process, execution process, it's the process at the heart of any project. If that's in the right place, the project would turn out great. And adapt and continue. So is the idea that plays the big role. Materials, budget, timelines will keep changing, but don't compromise on your ideas for the space making. So these are the things I believe in, and I try to work with these beliefs for all my designs. So this is again some of the images of the studio. The top set of images are from the studio, where we do the mock-ups or models to understand and make sure what we are giving as a solution is not something which may not work out. And yeah, of course, there are those pictures where we are discussing. The bottom set of images are me at the site, where I like to be hands-on, and even though that was just the art selection, we wanted to make sure that it was working out where it was working out. And so I'll now present a few of the projects of the studio. I would present all the projects keeping in mind, not keeping in mind, I would say, just 3 key words to describe what the project was when we were working on it. So by the lake, this is a project which is literally by the lake. And tradition, material, and context, how did that happen? So, from my initial conversations with the clients, they come from a region where pot tile roofing is very famous, so they wanted to have pot tile roofing. And so that's how I felt like it has to be a traditional home with that, but how can I make it contemporary at the same time? So we integrated modern technology by using metal and wood roof panels, and created bigger spaces and volumes. And then we also added lime plaster walls and Kota flooring to just complete the palette. And the window details and everything complemented the entire scheme. Material was that. And context, I'll just go by. So there was an existing banyan tree and a lot of, not lot, if you see on the right side, there were a few trees on this bottom right corner of the site, and just a couple of trees in the rest of the site. And there was the lake on the edge. So we tried to work around, have this banyan tree as a central courtyard, and rest of the spaces were looking towards the lake. So that's how the context part of it worked. And some of the images where that's one of the trees that was a mango tree where the cattle is still there around, and laying of the pot tiles, the swimming pool looking towards the lake, some elements which were added to give the village feel. And then they wanted a temple, so that also was built out of was given a traditional form, but was done through CACB bricks. And well, that's just the farming that happens even today. The boulders and all the boulders except for these ones which we had to move are natural. We didn't touch them except for just clearing up and making the ground level a little more flatter. Nothing was really disturbed. We just retained the entire natural context of the site and tried to create the spaces around. Okay. These are some of the interior views of the spaces. This is H house. Here we experimented with the structure. Again, context was important. And we tried to create seamless space. The challenge here in terms of context was it was surrounded by large buildings on all sides, and there was no scope of really having like open spaces around. But still, the H form comes by having the private and semi-private spaces on either sides, which will occupy more space. And the linear in-between part is the public spaces. And we tried to create the connectivity, and existing compound walls were also quite high. So we just used the advantage of the setbacks as well, again site context, and created these seamless spaces where, yeah, although they are surrounded by big towering buildings around, they feel open and at ease with the spaces. So the top two are the renders, and this is the on-site images of those spaces. A few more. So again, the second image that you see is of the structure. We had integrated, when I say experimenting with the structure, we had integrated MS work along with RCC work. So the staircase is completely metal and wooden staircase, which will add to the experience being seamless so that it feels like a floating space. And well, yeah, just certain spaces where the volumes are there and you see that it feels more open. This is West Village. It's a clubhouse for one of the many projects we are having on the outskirts of these farmhouse villa layouts. And here we felt budget and experience and form were important. Budget because this is a public building and there were a group of friends who wanted to do the project as just an investment. So they wanted to keep it very tight, and they had got a vendor through this quick build technology and wanted to use that to save up even on the time. So the major built parts were done in the major blocks you see on the top and at the bottom were done in the quick build technology. And these other experience spaces, which were like cafeterias and other verandas, were just, you know, it could have been just a normal shed, but we tried to just simply make a difference. When I say experiment with the form, was by using a conventional pitched roof, just rotated it by 45 degrees and then again tilted it in the other direction as well to create larger volumes from the inside. And from the outside it looks a little interesting because of the slightly different unique roof shapes. These are again views of that space. Yeah, it's almost done actually. And finally, this is B002. This is an interiors project. This I had done actually in collaboration with my friend I had shown in one of the first images, named Shalini. And here, color, curate, and art. Why did we look at it that way? The client for this one is a NRI, and he wanted to have Palm Beach as the theme. So if everyone knows, Palm Beach is a lot of patterns and colors. So that's why we felt color to be important in the scheme. And art, because client already had a lot of art collection and wanted to display that. Curate, because he already had a lot of furniture and we had to put it together without really buying anything new. So what we managed to do is the red parts that you see which have been highlighted are mainly relocating those doors so that we could get larger walls where the art could be displayed, what he has, and keeps adding to that. And then all these the arched shapes that you see was just to complement the pattern and color and get some softness to it. All the flooring inlay patterns that you see were done in the existing flooring that was given by the builder without disturbing much of it, because it was a finished project actually, and then we came into the picture. So those patterns add that Palm Beach feel to the space. And then we tried to do wall paneling and, tried to do the wall paneling and some like if you see the second picture, ceiling commissioned art also we had done to just complete this space. And well, yeah, that's about it. I would like to close this by saying thank you for the opportunity once again.
Thanks, Anuja. There was some wonderful work and we really liked how spacious and open all your projects were. Can I request you to stay back on stage with us? I'd like to invite on stage architect Pallavi Anchuri and architect Praveen to please felicitate Anuja, please. A big round of applause. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest and a special invitee with us today. We are very honored to have with us Ms. Anuradha Reddy, who has joined us today evening. I'll just take a moment to introduce ma'am to all of you. As many of you all are aware, Ms. Anuradha Reddy is also the co-convener of Intact Telangana and convener of Intact Hyderabad chapter. It'll amaze you to know that she speaks over 6 languages, including English, French, German, Telugu, Hindi, and Tamil. She has a great interest in photography, architecture, archaeology, and does a lot of writing and research. She has done a lot of research also on the history of the Deccan. She is also an avid traveler and a historian. So with those few words, I once again welcome Anuradha ma'am and request her to join us on stage. Pallavi ma'am, can I also request you to please come on stage and felicitate her? Renu ma'am, can I also request you to join us on stage? And Qasim Ali sir, please join us on stage. Mr. Nikhil and Miss Nidhi, can you all please join us also? Thank you. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you, ma'am has an immense contribution towards the historical conservation, especially in Telangana state. Ma'am, please.
I won't speak very long. It's actually a wonderful thing to be standing here. We are the end user of what the architect does, what the architect imagines, what he translates into what we see. For me, the influence has been, you mentioned that I speak so many languages. It is because I'm a Mulki Hyderabadi. It is my inheritance that I also speak Marathi, Kannada, Telugu, Urdu, and English. It is my inheritance, it was on my currency, all these languages. It was on our notes. It was on the wonderful rock-cut caves that we went to Ajanta Ellora that we protected until 1956. But which was always on our journey whenever we had visitors coming to Hyderabad to take them to Ajanta Ellora. How did we travel? We traveled by train. Where did we get these trains? Secunderabad Station, 1874. Kachiguda Station, 1916. Nampally Station. All the wonderful iconic buildings that were part of the railway history of our region. That we stayed in Aurangabad in the railway hotel, now sadly demolished. Handed it over to the Ashoka group and demolished. So where is it that we inherit this idea of architecture? Is it when we go to a cave? Renu showed the restaurant Gufa in Bashir Bagh. We went there very happily because you went into this mysterious space. And several others that I don't drink, but I did go into the pubs. And so this is where we inherit. I would like to share also, you mentioned some of the architects, but I would like to say that I was part of the whole journey of that architecture here. Fayazuddin Saab, who was state architect of Hyderabad. It was my, the word I would like to use is honor, that I trailed around behind him because my mother worked actively with Fayazuddin Saab. That we knew Hashmat Raza, that we knew all of them. That we also contributed to the architecture of Kashmir. That Hyderabad became the center for lower income housing that we still have around us today, some of it in Hyderabad city and some of the state. It was also my honor to know a lady called Tara Chandavarkar, who was not an architect, but who went on to lead the biggest architectural firm of South India because her husband passed away and she took it over. So where do we become architects? Where do we become the end user? Where do we become the product of that imagination? And the work that I do with INTAC today came about because I saw that my city, my state, my country was beginning to disappear. Sometimes I find that we have also lost post-independence architecture. In Hyderabad, we were gifted to have had also Heinz, who was a German architect who came to us here because of the Second World War. And he came because we had here what is called the German group in Hyderabad, and they supported him. So we see so many of these things here in the city. So once again, I'd like to thank Pallavi for having me here today. Thank the whole group. I am not an architect, but one has survived this journey and one has learnt a lot during the process. So I suppose I have no degree, but I'm an architect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for all that you do for our heritage. Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, our evening today would not have been complete without our gold partners and sponsors, Black and Blue. Today, representing Black and Blue and to share some insights, we have Miss Nidhi. So can I kindly request Miss Nidhi to come on stage and brief us about your offerings. So, as you all are aware, they have very graciously arranged for a very exciting lucky dip. So I hope all of you all have put in your names and business cards in that bowl which is on the table in front. We will be announcing the winner after our last presentation. Thank you.
Hello, and a very good evening to all of you. Wishing you all a very happy Women's Day today. I am Nidhi Mittal from Black and Blues, partner and co-founder with my husband Nikhil Mittal. We started this company together. We had a very humble beginning when my late father-in-law, Mr. Mahesh Kumar Mittal, started the furniture business in the year 1996. Over the years, we have grown, and today, currently we have 5 companies under the Mittals group. We at Black and Blues do import, manufacturing and project sales of office seatings, and with such vast experience and over 250 products at display, we bring to you an unparalleled industry experience. Our mission and vision is to bring to you world-class ergonomically designed products which are high on quality, aesthetics and economics. Yeah, 65% of our products are made in India. We directly import also from Southeast Asia. We give a 3-year warranty on all our products, and we have a dedicated service team which has a 24 hours turnaround time. We are blessed to have a hard-working team of more than 75 members. These are few of our projects that we have completed in the last 6 months. The Domus buildings, the Larmintage Legal, the Vistari kitchens, Time and Whisk, Goya's Jewelry. And these are a few of our clients we have worked with. As you can see, we specialize in office spaces, and most of our sales is generated from offices and co-working spaces, the 60% of our sales. Our product series includes the mesh chairs, the premium leather series chairs, and we have recently ventured into the Horeca seatings. And we bring to you beautifully designed bar counters and cabinets. We do sofas in-house. We manufacture them, so we do all customizations also. We also do the office tables and the workstations. At every step, our process is meticulously planned and executed. women are the real architects of our society. So we at Black and Blues salute all the women achievers. Thank you, and once again wishing you all a very happy Women's Day.
Miss Nidhi, if you can stay back. Thank you very much for sharing your offerings. I urge all our participants to visit their store. It's fantastic. It's at High Tech City, very close to us. So please do visit and check out their collection. To felicitate Miss Nidhi, can I first call on stage architect Pallavi Anchuri, Amita ma'am, our joint honorary secretary, Mr. Rakesh Vasu, honorary treasurer, and Mr. Nikhil, if you'd like, please join us. Of course, the limelight will be on your wife today. So. Thank you very much, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, now the last but not the least, we have a very power-packed presentation coming up. To introduce our speaker, I'd like to call on stage architect N. Venkata Subbarao, our co-op member, IIID Hyderabad Regional Chapter.
Thank you, Gaurav. Today is a very special day and a wonderful day. For me too, because all these wonderful women were part of my destiny or journey. First time I met Renu ma'am, and second I met Ajita ji. Third I met Vandana ji. Fourth I just bumped into Anuja in her office when she just started, I think 1 or 2 months I think. She just started, and I just randomly walked into her office and said, I am an architect and I would like to talk to you. And then she was very cool to interact with a stranger. And fourth, after so many years of not going to any restaurants, I found this one restaurant called Taro. And then I kept going to that place and thought, okay, who has designed this? But a very beautiful soul that would definitely has designed this. One day I would meet. So, and there happened a halo where I was traveling, and I always was very intrigued by the detail on the compound wall and the gate and the entrance, which still I didn't taste the food of over there. But taro is something which I generally cook, the typology of the food which I cook, it was close. Not really the same, but it was close. So today I was fortunate to see Srinath handed over me to this page, and then I saw who is this architect, and then I understood she is the designer of the taro. So intrigued by the work done by her uncle, Meghna made a vow to make her mark in the world of architecture when she was just a teenager. It was the use of shapes, textures, and colors to breathe life into concrete structures that fascinated her young mind. After graduation, Meghna found herself working with some prominent names in the industry. Her experience in landscaping quickly capitalized her career, and Meghna decided to practice independently. This laid the foundation of the Pinewood Studio. What started in 2015 as a boutique landscaping studio has grown into a sought-after landscape consultancy in and around Hyderabad. While Meghna is the creative brain of the company, Shashwat brings balance and a fresh perspective as an outsider in the industry. Although it has not been long since Shashwat became fully involved with the Pinewood Studio, he has been a sounding board for Meghna at every stage. Between managing clients and crunching numbers, he also thrives as a team leader who is empathetic and encouraging. Since he has quickly picked up the nuances of landscape design, he now eagerly contributes to the creative process too. According to Meghna, Shashwat plays a vital role in translating the client's vision into achievable goals. Together, they create a harmonic balance, much like the power of yin and yang. So now I present the stage to herself, and this is one of the introduction where I see behind every man there is a woman too. So that's how this narration goes. So.
Good evening, everybody. It's absolutely humbling to stand here in front of maestros of this industry. We had never imagined that we would get a platform like this to speak about landscape in front of such big achievers of our industry. So the journey actually began. When I was about 15 years old, where I met my uncle who was working under Hafiz Contractor. And the charm and the aura that he had being an architect just left an impact on me. And that day I decided that if I don't become an architect, I do not do anything. I just sit at home and I watch movies, that's all. So my parents were under extreme pressure that is ladki ko architecture nahi padwaya, so we don't know what she's going to do. But they went to extreme lengths to ensure that, I got a seat in an architecture college. We come from a very humble background. My father raised us on his Rajdoot bike, which is still there in our parking, and which will always be there with us for many, many more years to come. And as and how we grew as a family and our education came to roll, my parents ensured that nothing was compromised. Even though if there is one roti on table, education was a priority. Me and my sister were given the best of the education that any girl child could dream of. I also am extremely lucky to have a husband who is so supportive. I started off as a freelancer, but when I got married, we moved to Lucknow, and I tried working under a lot of firms, and my husband realized, okay, this one will not work under anybody. She wants to become a leader, and she wants to start her own company. And my father-in-law, who is unfortunately no more with us, was a big support. And he said, you move to Hyderabad, let's see what happens in future. You start your own company. So it's very, day in and day out, I always thank my father-in-law for being the kind of person, open-minded person that he was, who let me stay away from my husband. We had a long-distance relationship for 3 long years after we got married, and he, supported us to start our own company. Shashwat, who is the yin to my yang, is always been a big support in from the inception of the company. He was always involved in taking monetary decisions, because I am ridiculously horrible in numbers. So he is the business brain in the growth of the company. Thank you, my love. I always will be grateful to you. So when I finished my architecture course, I decided to work for a few years. I was working in Bangalore, and then one day I called my dad, and I said, Abhi bas ho gaya hai, I want to come back and start my own firm. And Dad was like, oh my God, we don't have the monetary backup, what we are going to do. And then I said, we'll see, whatever happens, happens. I want to start off. So Dad is into solar industry, and he used to meet a lot of architects day in and day out, and he started promoting me slowly to get like small jobs, odd jobs. And then he would go and say, my daughter is a landscape architect. पेड़ पौधे लगाती है आपकी बेटी है. And then Dad was like, हाँ पेड़ पौधे लगाती है, आपके घर में लगाने हैं तो लगवा लो. So that's how I started. So a lot of projects that we got paid, we didn't get paid. It's a beautiful journey that I would not change for anything. I started off on a TVS scooty, and the days that we had seen while building this career is it's very close to my heart, because it's only when you touch the bottom you go up. So that's always been the case with us. And once we started picking up, I met a lot of architects, and one very senior architect had mentioned, which I will never forget, is till you get money on the table, your pen should not touch the paper. And that has been with me forever. There were times where we never got paid. Yes, I know, everybody relates to it. Fortunately, unfortunately, I do not know what to say. Our profession is like that. You know, there are a lot of family friends who will come. There are a lot of relatives who will come, who will say, ye design kar do, wo design kar do. And then we are obligated to do that. But that statement, what this very senior architect made, left a very, very big impact on me, because at some point of time, I was looked up to as like the next earning person in the family, because my parents have 2 daughters, and they have raised me to be the son and my sister to be the daughter. So, you know, anyhow, the journey went on, and then Shashwat happened to me. And once the company, the Pinewood Studio, started in 2014, I don't think there has been a day where we have looked back. Shashwat was into in an operational segment of hospital industry. And as in how the work started picking up, and it was absolutely not possible for me to manage, I insisted, requested, begged, pleaded, did everything in my control to, you know, convince him to join the Pinewood Studio. And one final day, he agreed, okay, he's going to, you know, take the charge and ensure that I get time to design, and then everything else he takes care of. Client coordination, client calls, you know, fee structure, everything that is apart from design is managed by Shashwat, and thankfully I get the time to look after the design part of the company. So we'll take you through the journey of some of our projects that we have completed over the years. Our story, we have a small world of our own. We are a company of 10 young architects without whom it is not possible to even complete one day to night. They are the whole and soul of the company. Our team is the reason why we are here today. We feel very privileged to actually be in a profession that is luxury driven. Landscape architects are predominantly hired by clients who have the budgets to, you know, ensure that outdoors is as magnificent as indoors. So we also feel that we bring that pop of color into the entire space, because without greens, the structure is beautiful, but it gets that amp of color, you know, that the landscape adds. So that's the contrast that I'm trying to show, you know, the hardscape versus the softscape. The vibrancy that plants add and change any space is absolutely different. And because we see it day in and day out, we see how the site is right before plants come and how the site changes the day the plants arrive and we set everything up. We also began with like a very amazing project that was Chiklo. It's a cafe bang on road number 36, which is unfortunately now shut down. The client was extremely open about what design that he received from our end. The place was actually about high-end bicycles. It was also a pub. So we used bicycles in every aspect of landscape, and we designed this beautiful space where bicycles were bought from Old City. We cut them and we made like tables for the smoking zone. We made the facade entry to cover the generator so it doesn't become an eyesore, and actually was the photo spot for quite a long time. So, you know, there's one small thing that I would like to mention. When we started getting projects, big projects who, you know, kind of paid really well, my dad being a movie enthusiast, every project that we used to get, we used to open a bottle of beer at night, and then I would call dad before going home and say, "Aaj khush to bahut ho gaye." by Amitabh Bachchan, because that was our statement to, celebrate and to tell him that, that I have achieved something. So a lot of small things mattered a lot while we started the project. This was a project that we got in Chennai. It's a gated community. It's a villa in gated community where we did like a nice pool, barricaded it with metal structures. This was a kitchen garden that we designed right at the entry portal, and then we had like a beautiful Buddha statue with kitchen garden as a backdrop, and nobody would actually realize that there is a kitchen garden right at the entry. We have also done a lot of renovation projects where we kept the soul of the house intact, and we tried to work around it. We didn't want to rip off everything that was very close to the owner's heart, which they had made long ago. So we always tried to keep the flooring, the trees, everything intact, and we tried to work around it as much as possible. We always tried to play with a lot of shapes, a lot of forms, a lot of materials. Over the period of time, we have learned some things work and some things don't work, but we always are up for something very, very experimental. So, like I said, we are driven to create spaces which are experiential and experimental. We have done a lot of residences with unique designs where we have designed sculptural elements. We have played with flooring patterns. We have done the lighting. We have combined textures. We have played with 3-4 materials. And it's always been an amazing, challenging experience. A very senior architect again had mentioned long back to me, experience is a very poor substitute of enthusiasm. So anytime any vendor or any contractor comes up and tells us, ma'am, ye to nahi ho payega, and I used to be like, zyada se zyada kya ho jayega, gil jayega na, theek hai, wapas khada kar denge. Ab karo, let's go ahead and do it. Why say no before even attempting to, achieve something that is so unique and so creative? Like the forms we also work with are very organic. So a lot of times the execution team that is on site would come up and say, there are extreme challenges, cost is a factor, and then we would always speak to the client and request, let's just go that extra mile and see. And sometimes we have also told, if you don't like it, we'll break it on our cost and give. And thankfully that has not happened till now. But yes, I mean, if we show confidence, I think that's where we are the mirror of the opposite person, right? So if we show confidence, I'm sure the opposite person also understands that, okay, you are confident, so let's just go ahead and do it. This is a salon that we did in Banjara Hills. We experimented again with form, with bending metal to the extremist point where the fabricator also was like, I don't know what you guys are trying to do. So the wings that we have created is with metal pipes, and we also tried to fix the lighting on that, and I think luckily it turned out well enough. So my mom from childhood has taught me there is no impossible in our dictionary. Impossible is I am possible. And that's where we get the courage to do something very different, very out of the box. And this is a result of that. We created a nice metal structure for a Telugu actor where this is his bachelor pad, and he didn't want, he wanted his me time and he wanted to read scripts there. So we wanted the space to be very inspiring for him, yet very minimal. So we created this metal structure which has his movie names on top and which also is seen as a reflection on the floor. The execution team on this side said, this kind of lawn, so intricate, so detailed, is not possible on slab level. The lawn will never grow in such pockets. And today you see the lawn is actually grown very beautifully on the terrace. It's just that we need to grow that extra mile to achieve that detailing. A senior architect whom we were sitting with to understand how the bench detail will work out mentioned to us that what you're trying to do is completely impractical. The bench is going to fall down because it has a niche right in between, which is a 4-inch deep niche. But we achieved it on site. And that senior architect was actually our staff. And I think everybody can guess what happened after achieving this detail. They told us not to put a rock on the wall. That's not possible, but yet we went ahead and achieved it. So a lot of times we do get a no first once our designs are presented to the client and to the execution team. But the resilience that we have as a team, no, it is possible, let's go ahead and do it, has given us this portfolio of amazing pictures that I can present to you today. This is a structure that is only on the beam, which is towards the rear side. There is no column in the front. There are 3 layers of metal structure here, and each layer has cove light hidden in it. There is absolutely no metal column in the front. All the load, the 3 layers of vertical and the 3 layers of horizontal, is going on the back beam. So very, very experienced, the great, I'm a big fan of him, Zaki sir did the structural engineering for him. And I always thank him for helping us and supporting us in achieving this. This is tarot that sir had mentioned. There were 3 fabricators who came to the site, gave this an attempt, and left it even before it took shape. So finally, we found one fabricator, one very creative, genius guy, absolutely mad like us, who said, "I am going to do it for you." So there it is. There, tarot is. We also have a lot of failures. It's not like we have only produced amazing projects. We have a lot of failures, and as a company and as people, as individuals, we don't shy away from sharing that. Like we were not very confident of how to do the lighting in front of the sculpture. So you see those 2 ugly lights there, but now you get really beautiful concealed lighting. We really messed up on the levels there. So there are a lot of things. We gave a bollard light right in front of in between the lawn. Every other day the client would call and say, "Dude, my friends are tripping here, just get this damn thing out." So yes, we went back and we tried to help them and change it. But yes, it's a process of learning. We also love collaborating with artists and sculptors. And we have tried our best to, bring in art into landscape. Although landscape is already so vibrant and so beautiful on its own, but adding these little pieces into your landscape backyard and your gardens just elevates the entire design all in itself. So here we worked with an artist from Jaipur. That is also sourced from Indonesia. These sculptures were already there at a site, and we got them into the landscape again. That is my favorite. Yeah, so that's the kind of detailing that we go into. And yes, there are some plant libraries that that we put together just to show that we don't shy away from layering and clustering and bringing in the most tropical kind of a lookout that you can ever imagine in your house. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, like I promised you, a power-packed presentation, and thank you so much, Meghna, for taking us through that wonderful work of yours. Can I request you to please come back on stage? I'd like to call on stage architect Pallavi Anchuri, along with architect Naveen, Mr. Sandeep, and also architect Subbarao, to please felicitate Meghna. A round of applause for Meghna, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, IIID and Black and Blues would also like to recognize some very special women on this day. For this first, I'd like to call on stage architect Pallavi Anchuri. I would also like to call on stage Zeenat ji, Shushmita ma'am, and also Amita ma'am, all the women of the IIID HRC. Please join us on stage. Also, Nikhil and Nidhi from Black and Blues, please join us on stage. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call on stage some very special women, starting with Nalini Auntie, Nalini ma'am. Please join us on stage. A big round of applause for Nalini ma'am. Can I also call on stage Nivedita ma'am? Nivedita ma'am, please join us on stage. Next, can I also call on stage Renu ma'am? Renu ma'am, please join us. And also Zainab ma'am. Zainab ma'am, please join us on stage. A big round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen, for all the wonderful women. Thank you. Thanks a lot to all of you all for the wonderful contribution to IIID. So with this, ladies and gentlemen, we come towards the end of the evening. Let me tell you that we have a very specially curated menu tonight. So, you know, I'm very sure you all will be eager to go. However, now the only thing that stands between you and the food is... Huh? Oh, we need to do the Lucky Day announcement. I'm sorry for that. So we definitely have a winner, and we will just make the announcement for that. Yes, thank you. Thank you for, first of all, putting in your business cards and chits in this. Yeah. So Nikhil here has the bowl with all the names, and we'll be picking out. So we are inviting Qasim sir to pick out the winner for us. You can announce the name. Yeah, would you like to announce the name? Miss Pragati Srivastava, are you with us? Congratulations on winning the Lucky Day Pamper. Fantastic. So Pragati wins the chair. Thank you so much. I'm sure you will have, your back will thank you a lot now. Oh, there's one more. I believe there's another winner. Wow, I mean, there's no maths fixing here, let me assure you. Architect Shushmita Subodhi. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Black and Blues, for the wonderful gesture. So now, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing that stands between you and the food is architect Naveen Chalsani with his vote of thanks. So I invite Naveen to do the honors.
Yeah, good evening. I'd like to thank all the members who are present here and mainly the speakers. And we also like to congratulate the sponsors and the Taj Mahal staff and the events was taken by the Universal. And there is a special request from all of the members, like we should also do the Men's Day. So it's on November 19th, we'll have I5, especially for men's curated. So that was a special request from the one of the members. So thank you. Just join us for the photo and the high tea.
Yeah. Can I request all the speakers of this series and the HRC committee to please join on stage? The speakers. One photo, ma'am, and then we'll let you go. All the speakers, can I request you all to please join on stage? The speakers. HRC committee, please come on stage. Meghna, Anuja, please. Yeah, actually. Please join for the photo, ma'am. Yeah. Please join us for dinner. Thank you very much and good night.
తీసేసుకో భయ్యా
మీరు మాట్లాడుకున్నది కూడా వెళ్ళిపోయినట్టు
అంటే ఎట్లా చేయాలో తెలియదు
బ్లాక్అవుట్ చేయడం తెలియదు